Hello everyone, and welcome to the garden aisle of blind bunnies who are wandering straight into our open mouths. I am pretty amazed at how the new camouflage ability works so that when you are standing in the grasses and you happen to be lucky enough to be wearing stripes, you actually have such powerful camouflage that the bunnies don't even know it's coming. They just end up like walking right into your open mouth. And I think that's going to make the tiger side of our tribe, the Pomera tribe that we're kind of splitting into a few different little groups, extremely interesting because the tiger side may not actually clear away much of the grass. We may actually have T. Dakir, who is the heir to the tiger side after his father T. Dukro, decide that he wants to just like have a nest established on top of the regrowing grass and then keep all of the grass around here so that the bunnies just wander straight into their mouths. I think that that's going to be a pretty cool twist to the story. So welcome back to the Pomera tribe, you guys. As you know, we're kind of scattered right now. We have a stinky rose garden being grown with Rosie finding mates that she can have some stinky-tailed children with. Hopefully Roro, his new brother or sister that Rosie is carrying, will not be born with these short-sighted eyes that Roro had. We've tried so hard to get rid of the short-sighted eyes. I should have stood my ground and not let anybody with short-sighted eyes breed. Darn it. So I need to be a little bit stricter with our genetics. And when we are below 100 food, we are going to be sticking to being very strict with our genetics, other than rebellious Rosie, because I just really think she's quite interesting. I'll work on getting us up to over 100 food and then we'll breed more with her. But Poi, who is a pretty good mate for her. They both actually have stinky tail recessive. In fact, yeah, it normalizes the mane that I'm trying to breed back in. But really, Poi is about to pass away, so I might get a few more children out of him before he does. But don't worry, guys, we will be a little more strict with genetics and a little bit looser for story's sake, depending on how much food we have. So that being said, we are also enjoying the fact that Taro, who's the current alpha of the tribe, is not a particularly strong alpha. You guys know that Lamiko happens to have her eyes on Taro's position, but she's also realizing that she's going to need some children to help make her aspect, her line of the tribe, stronger. That's really what the leaders do, is they have lots of children, and then their children are the ones who go out and they strengthen the position of the leader in the tribe. So I think Lamiko, after having watched at how Taro leads the tribe from under the leader tree, I guess we could call this, from under the home tree, now that she's watched that for quite some time, and she has watched Rolana be quite smart with gathering up what food resources she can, Lamiko is going to go on a little bit of a journey, and I think Lamiko is going to be looking for a mate of her own. And there are two very special males that she has in mind. One of whom is Poi, who is for the most part the healthier out of the males that we currently have available. A lot of them have the red gemstone of non-acceptance. They have hemophilia, they've got short-sighted eyes, the things that we're not trying to pass on. Poi does happen to have the short-sighted eyes recessive, but he's just the best out of the lot that we've currently got. So I think Lamiko is going to try to wiggle her way up to Poi and become pregnant with his child so that she can have a couple children waiting in the wings for when she takes over the leadership position. But I think she definitely is quite eager to maybe pop over here to T. Dakir, and he happens to have the poison fangs, and having children with poison fangs would definitely strengthen her position as well. If T. Dakir would let her leave with the children and return back over to the main home tree, or if that he would want the children to stay as part of the tiger tribe, remains to be seen, but I've got some ideas for that. As the tribe grows bigger, we're really starting to see some funky stories go all over the place. I love Rosie's stinky child garden. I hope she has lots and lots of stinky-tailed children. And then of course we have Malako, who I'm going to actually name we'll call her, honestly, I like the idea that she doesn't really communicate very much or very well, because I don't plan on breeding her due to the genetics that she has, just too many short-sighted eyes. So I like the idea that she was just like a feral rogue child wandering around with no real socialization. So they call her Little Frog because she doesn't really talk to anybody. She just likes to kind of jump around and do what she can to help gather up any fish or bunnies. Alright, so now that we've got everybody settled in, let's go ahead and make it the next day. Dun dun dun, the rain has come. Wonderful. We still have an unwitting bunny just sitting right here for Hunter Rico to collect up. Alright, we'll gather up those. And then T. Dukro can gather up those berries. And I do think T. Dakir I think he would definitely, we'll gather up the renewing grass, but I think he would want to keep all of the other grass in tiger territory so that the bunnies unwittingly wander into their arms again. All right, and Little Frog can kind of help out. She can jump around and do a little bit of exploring with us. Doris could technically be a breeder, I suppose, but I've never really wanted to breed Doris. All right, and we'll worry about breeding later. The creatures live so much longer. It's really taking me a long time to get used to that they live a lot longer than they used to. So we have more time to actually work with everybody on, oh, look at that stinky tail. That's so cool. We have more time to work with everybody. I don't have to frantically breed nonstop like we used to, just to be able to make the most of our tribe. All right, Rosie, you're going to go ahead and collect up that and then jump in here to have your next baby. Your stinky-tailed son is right here too. So Roro is short-sighted as long as he's... What is this? Look at that. Oh, look at that distasteful scent. I love it. Oh, that's hilarious. I really love that. I think Roro can actually come over, and if he can hear them, we can allow Roro, because he's got some good strength, to do some mole hunting. That's going to be a little tricky. He might need a partner in mole hunting, because he's not quite... Yeah, he's not quite, he doesn't have enough sight to be able to see the moles and jump on them, but we'll figure it out. And then, of course, we have La Lamila, who is one of our explorers. She actually needs to come up here. Whoops, nah, dang it. I was trying to, oh, there's a nest. We'll have her unveil these areas. Kind of interesting you can't smell a nest. You think there would be something left over from the other occupants. All right, and then Rala is actually just, she's pretty good across the line. She's very healthy. We'll definitely want to pass on some of her genetics. I'm just not sure with who yet. We don't really have very many good males. That's my problem. We'll have her repair this nest, and we'll have Rolana repair this nest though, because it's just good manners to keep the nest of the tribe going. Whoa, Rala, I didn't mean to move you over there. Dang it. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with Rala or who I'm going to breed with her. I don't really have very good males to breed with just yet, but maybe Roro? That would keep the short-sighted going, but she's just a good base breeder, so I may just try breeding her with various males and see what happens. All right, now that Lamiko has kept an eye on how things are done for the leaders, she's going to head out, and she's going to meet up with Poi. Poi only has 3 days left of life, so he's actually going to wander past her, and she'll take a moment to kind of make some suggestions, some overtures of mating to him, because he, at 3 days left for his lifespan, is going to try to make it back to the Peace Garden, where we have our elders actually spend their last days. So that's where he's headed off to. We'll kick the tree. And then, are there any fish? I mean, technically we could try to fish. Diggertaro can attempt to find some fish, so we'll let him splash in the water and see what he does. All right, anybody else needs moved? Nope. All right, so let's go ahead and see what kind of baby Rosie's gonna have. Fingers and tails crossed for another stinky-tailed. Oh, look at you, it's a boy! Wow, oh no, he's unhealthy. Why? Why? No! Oh, he has stinky tail! I'm so happy! Yay! I'm so happy he has stinky tail. Wonderful. And other than the fact that he has doubled up B immunity, he's actually pretty awesome. Stinky tail, normal eyes, double digger paw. He's just not gonna live super long because unfortunately he's got immunity weakness. Meh. And unfortunately he wouldn't be a good mate for Lamiko, I think. But would he be a good mate? No, maybe not even for Rala. Ugh, we'd be risking it. Alright, we're gonna have Poi breed with her one last time, because I think that I want Rosie to have as many stinky-tailed children as she can. But the eyesight on Vankiro is normal, and I want her to have children with names that are kind of interesting. We'll name with Poi. You have another child. Poi. If you were a girl, I'd name you Posy. We'll go with Poi with 2 eyes. The usual way. Well, he doesn't really look anything like his father, to be honest. So name me maybe Rasar. Yeah, we'll go with Rasar. There we go. All right, just making up names now because that's the best I can do in these circumstances. So we'll let Rosie wait until her son is old enough. Rasar seems pretty awesome though. And then Roro can come over here and try to do some mole hunting. It's just going to be a little interesting. Woo, there we go. Sorry about that, you guys. All right, so I'm actually having a lot of fun with the stinky-tailed children. That is so much fun. So I hope Rosie has many stinky-tailed children, but I think that Lamiko, especially having seen with her own eyes Rosie having children kind of on the edges over here, pulling on their resources without really giving anything but beautiful babies back, I think that's going to affect how Lamiko is going to want to guide the tribe when it becomes time for her to become the leader. I don't think she'd have much of a problem becoming the leader and taking the spot from Taro either, because, and Taro, can you actually crack nuts? Let me see. No, you can't. You can do fishing. That's why you're over there. I remember now. But I don't think she'll have much of a hard time taking the position of the leadership from Taro. In fact, she could probably just stroll right in right now and kind of have the spot. So we're going to let her step in and be prepared to have a child. And I really want her children, let's see, does she have any risks genetically that she may carry? Yeah, we're going to leave the normal eyesight in as the main thing. And I think she would really want her children otherwise to primarily be really diverse in their food abilities. She sees food as the main thing that the tribe should be focusing on. So she may become known as like the gardener, maybe? But like a really strict gardener. So she's going to be the leader. So Lamiko, I don't think she'd have a hard time taking over the position from Taro. He's not really focusing on it anymore. He's sort of getting a little bit older too. 7 days left. They live forever. I feel like I have forever with them now, and I'm having to shift gears so hard on how I focus so much on breeding for ages and ages. So Lamiko's gonna, she looks so tiny too. She's gonna curl up in this nest, have her first child, and have a lot of thoughts over how to run the tribe in the future. All right, and I think I'm gonna let Rolana maybe kind of take a position as an elder who tends to the nest. She's the current queen, so you could say, but you can't really call yourself a queen or a king if there's not a lot of wealth in the treasury. So I think that Lamiko is really going to focus on the food. That's going to be her big thing. She wants everybody to be able to collect lots and lots of food. And maybe we can try having like as powerful a collector as possible and then work backwards from a powerful collector to all of those traits and skills we're going to need to survive on the big islands. So the big jungle islands. All right, and Poi is going to continue his move down. Now that he has left behind a few more of his genetic young, he's got a couple days left, just long enough to settle into the place of elders, so the Peace Garden. Speaking of the Peace Garden, it is almost time for T. Dukro to head over there, but I think his son, beautiful son, he really truly is a gorgeous son, is going to do a little exploring with his dad. We'll gather up all of the grass that can actually be reharvested, but I think that T. Darkir, who is going to establish the tiger line over here, would say otherwise he doesn't want the grass disturbed so that the rabbits will hopefully be lured towards us. So let's see, can we hear any bunnies? Let's see if we can find any bunnies. We can find, we'll also clear away the grass around where there are little bushes for sure. And maybe we'll make like a path through the grass just so it's easier to move through it. But we'll have to wait till we scout out the area. There we go. There's another bush. We'll wait till we scout out the area before we do that. And then we can step over here, clear this away. Whoops, I was supposed to clear it. Can we hear or smell anything? All right, there's a bunny coming from this direction. So there might be a bunny burrow over here that we can find. And there's some roots over here. Okay, good. No! T. Dukro, why? Oh, their names. I need to be more careful. I need to be a lot more careful and not have anybody selected when I'm using the keyboard, because otherwise chaos happens. All right, can I get this mole? Yes! All right, so we've got a mole. Dara's collected that. Darnu, let's have you go ahead, collect the regrowing grass. Whoops, I missed it. There we go. And then I'll focus on some nuts. Yeah, we'll focus on just Rosie. I think Rosie is going to be my main breeder focus right now, and Lamiko. And I'll kind of just focus on letting everybody else do food gathering or whatever silly things they're gonna get up to. All right, and then Rala, I may breed with Roro when he comes of age. So I'll let her move over here, and then he can slip over here and hopefully help out with like some fun attacks as time goes on. Can you guys smell or see anything? There's the berry bushes. Lala Mili is going to be our little explorer. She's getting, oh, look at this. She found like 2 whole nests. This is so exciting. She's definitely found a good area. We may have, maybe Rosie's rose garden will move over here. Rosie, Do you want to have all your babies over here? And we can have like your sneaky rose garden children be over in that spot? That would be kind of fun. Oh, I'll have to look into that too. All right. We're getting there. Sorry, guys. It's so different. It's amazing how much it changes from version to version of the upgrades and just getting used to the flow of things. But all right, we're in there, and Lamiko is going to have her very first child. Oh my gosh, it's a little boy. No, why are you unhealthy? Curses! Nuku! Why? One of Poi's last children is an unhealthy child. Curses! He does have the claw ability, so he's really strong too. Look at that. Ram and claw and normal body. He's a good cracker. He's a good digger. And his mother, Lamiko, I think she was hoping for more of a collector. I think she really wants to have children who have the collecting ability. So Nuku also being unhealthy. What kind of tail does he have? I'm curious. He's got stinky tail recessive. I think Lamiko is going to be a little bit disappointed with the genetic results of trying to have a child with Poi. Poi has otherwise had some very beautiful, healthy children. Should I have her try again? No, we're really low on food. I think if we're below 50 food, then we hold off on breeding. That'll be one of our other new rules. So we're going to allow Poi his time to just settle in and find peace in the peace garden. He has been with us for a very long time, so he's going to settle down over there. Queen Rilana is going to go ahead and just continually collect up all these berries that she's in charge of. I guess Digger Taro has kind of become the almost lazy king, the relaxing jester king. You guys, we're gonna pretend the constant phone call interruptions aren't happening. Apologies, my mom is in the hospital again, so I'm a little bit preoccupied with the phone calls. But moving on from that, I really do love the idea that Taro just didn't turn out to be a very strong leader. He just was kind of his mother's favorite, and he had some really great genes that he passed on to some of his children. But he's not really done anything too dramatic. However, I think maybe Rilana might be thinking about having one or two more children, and turning around and seeing that there are babies under the nest tree again might give Taro some ideas. And I'm not really particularly 100% happy with all of the males we currently have to breed with, so I'm going to go ahead and let Rilana and Taro have another child, because they did have some very pretty children before. And let's see, we're going to get Rasar out of the nest so that with his beautiful stinky tail, so that his mother Rosie can have another baby. So she's going to slip in there. And then we'll have to see if we can get over 50. I guess if they're not the royal leaders of one of our tribe groups, then if we're under 50 food, no breeding allowed. So no more breeding with Lamiko, but we'll have her go ahead and kind of step to the side and focus on gathering food, kind of tuck her head down and look really diligent, like, oh, how did this baby happen? Who knows? Even though because we're below 50 food, normally you'd have to be a lot more strict about who gets to breed. So Lamiko's a little bit disappointed that her son was born so unhealthy, but he's got quite a bit of strength, so it's not like it's a total loss. All right, so let's see what else we can do today. I think a lot of berry gathering, even though we don't have particularly strong berry gatherers. I'm sure we'll get there with time, and we'll do a little bit of exploring. I'll do some exploring in this direction so that we can gather up any berries that are available. And then, can you gather any berries, Roro? Roro can do a little bit of berry gathering. So waste not, want not. Rala will come over, and maybe this is how she and Roro can get to know each other. They could even have Rosie's Rose Garden children come over back here, where Lalamila, our explorer, has kind of been uncovering a really awesome area. I mean, look at this. Is there anything else we can scent or smell? Not particularly. There's that one bush right over there, though. So I think Lalamila, she does only have 3 days left. So I think with this discovery made, very proud, she's going to start making the way back home so that she too can rest in the Garden of Peace. So we'll send her over there, and then we'll have Doris collect up these berries. And then Hunter Darnu can unfortunately not collect up the berries, but he can come over. We'll clear away these grasses. He can dig. Are there any roots nearby? No roots nearby. It'd be interesting if you could dig down the berry bush and get like a ton of roots for it, but then you ripped up the roots of the berry bush. So unlike cutting it so you can get material or food all of a sudden, if you dug up the roots, maybe you could get a ton of food, but then it never regrows. You could totally deforest your entire island that way. That would be a little bit dramatic. All right, so we'll have T. Ducro come over here, gather up a little bit of the grasses. He is almost old enough that he's going to start making the journey back to the Peace Garden where he can pass away in peace. Little Frog can jump around and try helping with any discoveries we can do. Not really hearing anything in particular. She can jump over here at least. We'll see what she finds. And then Ta Dakir, he needs to start thinking about what kind of possible children he could have. Hunter Rico is immunity C and F, but she is really, the eyes are awful on her. I cannot justify breeding the eyes back in, but I would say that Ta Dakir is getting a little bit desperate to have some healthy children. Darius is about to die, so Darius lost my opportunity with Darius. Is Anna is a nutcracker and a digger, but she does have poison fang recessive. So Is Anna might be convinced to come over and join Ta Dakir. I could see that happening with his tiger line. And Rosie, would you go over? Maybe. So let me see. I have Is Anna, and she has A and B immunity. And then we've got B and G. Not perfect. A and B. B and G. What complements B and G? B and G. That definitely doesn't complement. B and C. All right, we'll just have to kind of risk it with some of the immunities. All right, anybody else needs to move? This guy needs to move. So yeah, I think Ta Dakir definitely needs to have a mate of some kind. And the only female that he knows of in the area, because there's still a lot of creatures, so I bet they pass a lot of gossip along the line, is actually Is Anna. So to convince Is Anna to move over here, however, he's probably going to need to have some sort of offering. And she loves gathering nuts. That's what she focuses her life on. So let's have Ta Dakir come this way, and we're going to have him like clear away the grasses around the tree so that hopefully he can convince her to come and settle over here and have tiger children with him. All right, is that almost everybody other than the hunter and Hunter Rico? Can I scent anything? There's a bunny over here. All right, got the bunny. Wonderful. All right, that should be everybody. Wonderful. All right, so we're starting to get a bit of a pace for the story. Thanks for your patience, guys. It's tricky sometimes. So let's see what kind of beautiful child we're going to have with Rosie. Hopefully it's another stinky tail, stinky tail, stinky tail. Oh, our first predator has sounded the alarm. And why? Taroku, you're beautiful and I can't do anything with you. No, I can have him collect. Oh, phooey. Rosie, you're gonna have to hold off on having children for a little bit, my dear. We're just not, I gotta pick some genetics and just go with it. Don't think we're gonna have any luck there. Oh, and the little grassland has regrown over here. Oh, and Poi has passed away. I can't believe that. It's been so long since we've had him, and now he's gone. Oh, all right. And I heard, can we? Oh, there he is. We can actually find out where they are before they eat us now. That's so exciting. All right, but we're getting there, you guys. We're still figuring out how to line everybody up. I may just have to get kind of each group breeding up a little bit. We're not really super low on creatures to the point where we have to worry, but gosh darn it, I am just not having any luck with having lots of healthy babies. I think Rasar, even with his doubled up immunity, is one of the healthiest stinky tails we could possibly have. So I think we may actually have Rala and Rasar have several children together, because then we could hopefully get some stinky tail in there, and then they'd probably have cracker children, and they would have an unhealthy child. Oh, we have too many of the same immunity genes. No, we're really pushing things. But all right, so no idea where we're going to go with things. I love the fact that our queen is once again surrounded by the soft grasses that she's going to gather to tend to the nest hierarchy. We'll have little Nuku come on over, and he can kind of join everybody down at the flower field and learn of his ancestors that way. And I think Digger Taro has actually decided that it would be nice to have another child. He was reminded of how wonderful children are seeing little Nuku, and we'll go ahead and let him and his mate have one final child before we may let Lamiko sort of stage a takeover. I think she's going to go off and she's going to try to become pregnant with Tadakir's child. So we'll have to see. We'll have to weave the lines together, and we'll have to be a lot more strict about who can breed, because I feel like I'm not making any progress for what I really want to be able to see before we move on to the jungle island. But I guess we need to explore this island before then anyway, so might as well really focus on that. Alright, and we'll have to see if we ever find any new encounters with new creatures. It's been a little while since we found Little Frog, so it'd be really helpful if we could have a good insertion of new genetics pretty soon. But if not, we'll just make do with what we have, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!